Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, and we're here for another Transformers review. And today I'm very much nearing the end of my Combiner Wars journey. Whatever Voyagers and Deluxes I have, except for Computron. But oddly, surprisingly, the last couple that I was on the hunt for was Buzzsaw and this guy. This is Transformers Legends Class Combiner Wars Pipes. And I finally found them. Wave 5 of these guys finally hit in my area, and I'm so happy to have them. So in the latest GotBot True review, we're going to take a look at this guy. Okay folks, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot, and as always, hey, check me out everywhere. Check out Machinery Man and the Everything Factor, and we will jump right into this guy right now. You know what? Not a lot to get really, super excited about here. The fact is, we've seen this mold used for Optimus, used for Nemesis Prime, and used for this guy, Huffer, who I haven't reviewed yet, but I'll end up popping something up there in a little bit. Before we go into the figure itself, though, I just wanted to point out, well, perhaps the most exciting part of all this, the collector card. And notice his face. His face is like a maroon color. That, I believe, is a throwback to, his original toy model, because that had a maroon face-ish eyes area. So I think it's a throwback to that. It's nice art, it's certainly stylized. It's not the pipes that we all know. And of course, here's the box. I don't usually show these, but I happen to have this one, so hey, why not? But I did want to show something on the back. If you look at, maybe I can show it like this. If you look at the official product shop, look at the abdomen area. There is blue in that abdomen area. And I was looking forward to that blue on the figure, and I don't know if that just came across, well or not. But there was blue there. You don't get that on this guy, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I just wanted to point it out for now, both the blue and the maroon face. And of course it says here that Pipes is a collector and he picks up a bunch of junk and gadgets. I kind of remember him sort of taking a role of being someone who repairs other bots, but what do I know? And of course you have instructions in here. I'm not opening them out because we know how this guy goes. This, this should be a pretty easy little one. But this guy is a transformer. He goes from an alt mode to a robot mode. He starts out in robot mode, so yes, I am going backwards, but it's because I have more to talk about in robot mode. His truck rolls like a champion. For a Legends figure, he has pretty good articulation, though his shoulders get a little hindered with these top pieces of the truck. So overall, for posability, playability, I'm going to give this guy about a 7. You can alter these pieces on his shoulders when the time comes. I'll show that to make them a little more posable, but it's too bad that you have to do that at all. So overall, I'm going to say he's about a 7, maybe 7.5 when it comes to posability, playability. His colors, again, about a 7. I've added actually a bunch of paint apps here to try and make him a little more G1 accurate. So about a 7. And his transformation is quite easy. His transformation is probably a 9, 9.5, maybe a 10. I mean, it's easy. Kids can do it. Collectors can do it. Going back and forth at your desk, fiddling with it. He's a great guy for that. So he's certainly not a standout figure, but he's all right. He comes with this, he comes with this again that we've seen with a few of this mold. You can plug it in on top for storage this way. I think that looks silly. I turn it around this way so that it's still silly, but a little less silly, so we'll take that out and lay that aside. You're going to notice right away that most of him is blue, except for the silver up right here. I added this, but I do think it helps. I might even color in the window silver on the sides of the truck a little bit. We will see when the time comes. So let's jump right into transformation for this guy, because I've talked enough about this. So how do you transform Pipes? Well, like you do with every other version of this mold. The front grill is going to have to pop out but that can be a little challenging. Okay, here, loosen up the arms. Maybe that's the easiest way to do it. Loosen up the arms on the side first, because you can kind of just pull those out, just like that. Now you should be able to get a handle on the grill and pull that down. Straighten out the legs a little bit for now, but they're not all the way straight. You're just sort of getting them out of the way and unpeg them. Take the shoulders right here and flip them out to the side, you know, all the way, like that. Put the arms up. I find like this is the easiest way. Just, you know, just have them above his head and spin the whole top of his body around. Now you can put his arms back down, and you can flip his head out. Tolerances on this guy are actually pretty good. I like to bring this piece up over his back a bit. It's supposed to be down, but I like to bring it up a bit like this, just so it kind of looks like he has that cab section over his head, you know, ever so slightly. And if you haven't already done it, straighten out his abdomen section. And in the end, there you go. We have pipes. And you're going to notice that his ab section is blue. I painted it blue. It was all of this unpainted gray. And I painted blue because I saw it on the package and I wanted it blue, and in G1 this was blue. His silver arms went all the way up. Actually in G1 there are tires on the sides if you look at the animation. So I painted silver up on his shoulders to try and mimic that a bit, and for mine the silver was kind of applied sloppy on the lower arms, and inside his hands had no silver, so I added silver inside of his hands. Then came his head. You'll notice my head is not maroon. I kind of used silver right across his eyes to give him that sort of visor look. I'm not trying to add a faceplate here for his lower face down below his nose, but I did paint that blue as well, both that done with a toothpick. It was, wow, something. I guess also if you wanted to, you can open up his chest to show his Autobot symbol, you know, from Transformation. These don't tab in anywhere, they just kind of open up. But in the end there's pipes. I think with the added paint apps, he looks a little more animation accurate. If you were going for toy accuracy, the colors that were used were great. I prefer animation accuracy. In terms of articulation, well, the head can go left and right. It can look up and down a little bit because of the transformation hinge here at the head, where it folds in. So you don't get a whole lot there. The legs go out about this far. They go forward about this far before the gray comes up on the you know, I'm not going to call it hip, I guess hip skirt. So they don't go out super, you know, super duper far. Well, I guess they can if you alter it a little bit. You can get them sitting down. Never mind. You can do it. It's just you're kind of rubbing the plastic here and here a little bit. There's a swivel at the knee because it's on a ball joint, so you do get a thigh swivel. 90 degree at the knee. The elbow's 90 degree, and again, because they're on a ball joint, you get a nice swivel there at the elbow. The arms can go right around 360, and there you go. When you try to go out, that's it. That's all you're getting out, unless you lift these panels up out of the way that are on his shoulders, these pads. If you lift them all the way up, I mean, he'll go right up and kind of hit himself in the head with his shoulder pad, but they'll go way out. So it really depends. The amount of shoulder articulation really depends on where you put these pads. Overall, like I said, this guy is certainly not a standout. It's an okay mold. It is certainly not the best mold in Combiner Wars, but at the end of the day, I am happy to have a pipes. Overall score for this guy, he's about a 7, 7.5. You know, he's a quick, fun transformation, but he has certain fiddliness with his articulation and his colors. Well, I had to add a bunch of paint apps to get him the way that I want him. If you like the standard way it comes out, hey, wonderful. Would I suggest getting him? If you don't have a pipes, hey, why not? Why not? Because I don't know if we're ever going to get a better official version of pipes. We might, but for now, this guy is what we have, and I'm going to enjoy him for what he is. Anyway, that's it. That closes it up for this guy. It's about a 7, 7.5. And what can I say? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you'd like to see anything else reviewed, you know, here on the channel. And besides that, the only thing left to say is thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time that we have a visit right here inside the videos.